Hey guys, what's up? Welcome, or should I say welcome back, to Miko and Mickey's Crochet channel. Long time no see, right? So, I've been super busy lately working my butt off, designing my adorable little animal pattern series. And guess what? The first 4 cuties are fresh out of the oven. We've got the super sweet kitty inspired by Mickey. How cute is that? A little chick with the most adorable comb on its head. A koala with these big ol' ears that'll melt your heart, and last but not least, a chubby little piggy that's just too precious. Now don't freak out if you're new to this. These patterns are totally beginner friendly. We're talking basic stitches here. And the best part? No sewing required. Yep, you heard me right. And they won't take forever to make either. I'm gonna pop all these patterns up on my Ko-fi page. Actually, you can find all my other patterns there too. And here's a little something special for you guys. To show how much I appreciate your support, I'm making all my patterns free for my supporters for a while. How cool is that? Okay, so today's tutorial, we're gonna be making this super cute little piggy. Different yarns can give you totally different vibes. This piggy and these other 3 cuties are made with 5-ply cotton yarn. It's perfect for beginners, because the stitches are super clear. If you're still getting the hang of seeing stitches, this is your go-to. Now, check out what happens when you use this thin chenille yarn. You get these adorable mini fuzzy animals. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit tricky to see the stitches while you're working, but I'm totally in love with how they turn out. Okay, let's talk about this fluffy yarn. It's a real challenge to work with, but trust me, the results are amazing. If you're a crochet pro, you're gonna love this. It feels so soft and fluffy, and you can't even see the stitches. How cool is that? Last but not least, we've got this chunky yarn. It's like the best of both worlds. You get that fluffy look, but it's way easier to see what you're doing. That's why I'm gonna use this one to show you how to make our little piggy friend today. All right, let's talk materials. You'll need some yarn for the body, a crochet hook. I'm using a 4.0. For the cute little piggy nose, you'll need a bit of pink yarn. I went with some 5-ply cotton yarn. Don't forget a yarn needle. Oh, and make sure you've got a stitch marker. Trust me, it'll save you a headache or two. Of course, you'll need some scissors. Last but not least, grab some stuffing. We want our piggy to be nice and plump. All right, let's jump right into it. First things first, we need to make a magic ring. Here's how it goes. Pinch your yarn and create an X shape between your 2 fingers. Now, insert your crochet hook from the bottom right of the X and pull the left top yarn over to the right side. Give it a little twist and ta-da! You've formed a loop. Next, insert your hook from under the left top yarn and pull that loop through the loop on your hook. And just like that, our magic ring is complete. Now, holding on to that magic ring, let's move on to the first round. We'll start by crocheting 6 single crochets into the ring. Here's how. Insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, and pull up a loop. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again and pull through both loops on your hook. And just like that, your first single crochet is complete. Now, continue this pattern and complete the remaining 5 single crochets. Great job! Now, locate the tail end of your yarn and pull it tight to close the magic ring. You can also grab a stitch marker to mark the last stitch, which is the one closest to your hook. Now, let's move on to the second round. In this round, we're going to increase in each stitch, which means we'll crochet 2 single crochets into each stitch, giving us a total of 12 stitches. If you're not sure where to start, you can count 6 stitches from the stitch you marked earlier. Here's how it goes. Insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Yarn over again and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. Now, single crochet in the same stitch. That completes one increase. Continue making an increase in each of the remaining stitches. Now I've completed 5 sets of increases. Remove the stitch marker from the last stitch to complete the final increase. Once you've completed all 12 stitches, go ahead and use the stitch marker to mark the last stitch. You're doing great! Now, let's move on to the third round. The pattern for this round is 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase, repeated 6 times, giving us a total of 18 stitches. So, in the first stitch, crochet 1 single crochet, and in the second stitch, crochet 2 single crochets. Repeat this pattern 6 times. Now feel free to pause here and continue with this pattern. We'll meet again at the end of this round. Remove the stitch marker to complete the last increase. And then mark the last stitch. You're doing amazing! Now let's move on to the fourth round. The pattern for this round is 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and then another single crochet, repeated 6 times, for a total of 24 stitches. First crochet 1 single crochet in the first stitch, then in the second stitch, crochet 2 single crochets. Next, in the third stitch, crochet 1 single crochet. Keep repeating this pattern for the remaining 5 sets. We'll catch up in a moment. Remove the stitch marker to complete the last single crochet, and then mark the last stitch. Now, for the 5th and 6th rounds, the pattern is nice and simple. All you need to do is single crochet around with 24 stitches in each round. So just keep crocheting 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. You'll repeat this for 2 rounds in total. Feel free to take a break and crochet away. After completing the 5th and 6th rounds, let's dive into the 7th round together. First, we'll crochet 7 single crochets. Then we'll increase in the next 3 stitches. After completing these 3 increases, crochet 4 more single crochets. Next, once again, increase in the next 3 stitches. Finally, crochet single crochets in the remaining 7 stitches. Don't forget to mark that last stitch. For the 8th round, we'll stick to a simple pattern of single crocheting around. Just crochet 1 single crochet in each stitch, giving us a total of 30 stitches. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next round. Now let's move on to the 9th round together. First crochet 7 single crochets. Next, we'll make 3 decreases. To do this, we need to locate the front loop of each stitch. Each stitch has 2 loops, one closer to us, which is the front loop, and one farther away, which is the back loop. Insert your hook into the front loop of the 8th stitch, like this. Then, continue to insert your hook into the front loop of the 9th stitch, like this. Now, you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over again and pull through the remaining 2 loops. That completes 1 decrease. Now, let's move on to the next decrease. If you're having trouble finding the next stitch, here's a handy tip. You can gently pull on the working yarn of your hook, and you'll notice some loops moving together. The moving loops indicate the stitches you've already worked on, so you can start from the stitch without any movement. Insert your hook through the front loops of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Continue to complete the 3rd decrease. Well done. Next, we'll continue by crocheting 4 single crochets. Then make 3 decreases. Finally, crochet single crochets in the remaining 7 stitches. Don't forget to mark the last stitch. That's great progress on the pig's head. Now's a good time to install the safety eyes. I'm going to using 6 eyes. Based on the completed one, we'll place the eyes between the 6th and 7th rounds. Let's take a look at the top of the head to determine the positioning. Starting from the 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. We'll install the eyes in the gap between the 6th and 7th rounds. The stitch marker indicates the back, so you can find the center of the front. The eyes should be placed in the middle with a gap of 2 stitches on either side, as shown in the diagram. Let's proceed to round 10, which is the neck portion. We'll crochet 12 consecutive decreases. Remember to mark the last stitch. Before we continue, it's a good idea to stuff the head to give it some volume and shape. Great. Let's continue with the body portion. I understand that the pattern for the 11th round may seem a bit complex, but if you follow along carefully, you'll see that it's not as difficult as it appears. First, we'll start with an increase in the first stitch. Then in the next stitch, crochet a single crochet. After that, make another increase in the following stitch. Now we'll crochet a bobble stitch in the front loop to create the pig's hand. And it will look like this. Bobble stitch is a group of 5 incomplete double crochet stitches into the same stitch. This might sound a bit complicated, but no worries, I've got you covered. I'll guide you step by step. Step 1, yarn over, as if you were going to make a double crochet. Step 2, insert your hook into the front loop of the stitch. Step 3, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook now. Step 4, yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. Step 5, repeat steps 1 to 4 for a total of 5 times in the same stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook now. Yarn over again and pull through the first 2 loops. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Now repeat steps 1 to 4 for a total of 5 times until you have 6 loops on your hook. Now I have 6 loops on my hook. Let's move on to step 6. Step 6, yarn over one last time and pull through all loops. Our bobble stitch is all done. Now, let's move on to increasing in the next stitch. Give a gentle tug to the completed bobble stitch, and you'll notice a spot where it doesn't move along with the others. That's where the next stitch is located. Start by inserting your hook and working a single crochet stitch in that spot. This will start shaping our hand. Now, let's continue by adding 1 more single crochet in the same stitch to increase. Next up, we'll crochet 2 regular single crochet stitches. Work them in the next 2 stitches without any increases. Then it's time to increase again. In the next stitch, we're going to crochet another hand, which means we'll create another bobble stitch. Don't worry about forgetting how to crochet it. I'll provide the steps for you to refer to. Next, we'll increase in the next stitch. After that, we'll work a single crochet in the following stitch, And finally, we'll increase in the last stitch. The hand part is now complete. And next, let's crochet the 12th round together. First, we need to crochet 3 sets of 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase. Start by crocheting 1 single crochet, then increase in the next stitch. Continue with the second set. When reaching the spot where the previous round's bobble stitch is, the stitch might not be as clear, but we can still confirm its location by gently pulling the work. After completing the third set, we will continue by crocheting 6 consecutive single crochet stitches. Then we will proceed with 3 sets of 1 increase stitch, followed by 1 single crochet. Before we begin the 13th round, let's crochet the piglet's tail. First, we will crochet 7 chains directly. Then locate the second to last chain and crochet a slip stitch. To do this, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the loop on your hook. This creates a slip stitch. Next, continue by crocheting a slip stitch in the next stitch. In total, we will crochet 6 slip stitches. The tail section is now finished, and it doesn't impact the stitch count for the body. In this round, we will crochet single crochet stitches all the way around, totaling 24 stitches. Start crocheting single crochet stitches and continue until you complete this round. I'll be here when you're ready to proceed. Next, we will crochet the 14th round. The starting point for this round is the stitch where the base of the tail is located. Give it a gentle pull, and you will see a corresponding stitch at the base of the tail. Insert your hook into that position. To begin, crochet 8 single crochet stitches. Then crochet a bobble stitch for the foot. After that, crochet 7 single crochet stitches. Crochet another bobble stitch for the other foot. Finally, continue by crocheting 7 more single crochet stitches. The body section is almost complete. For the final round, we will perform a round of decreases, specifically 12 decreases in total. Once you finish the last decrease, leave a tail of yarn to use for fastening off. Then it's time to stuff the body firmly, ensuring it is well filled and has the desired shape. Great! Let's grab your yarn needle and begin the fastening off process. Insert the yarn tail through the front loop of the first stitch. Then continue by inserting it through the front loop of the second stitch, and so on, repeating this process for all 12 stitches. During this step, there's no need to pull the yarn tightly. Once you've passed the yarn tail through all 12 stitches, gradually tighten the yarn tail to cinch the bottom of the body. After achieving the desired tightness, thread the yarn tail into the body, bringing it out from the inside. Trim any excess yarn and tuck the yarn tail securely inside the body. With that, the body section is now completely finished. Next, we will crochet the ears. We're going to crochet them directly onto the head instead of making them separately and then sewing them on. I personally prefer this method, and it seems like you do too, right? Let's start by crocheting the left ear. Starting from the top of the head, count down to the position between the 3rd and 4th rounds. Find the midpoint from the top and trace a line to locate the stitch between the 3rd and 4th rounds. This is the spot where we need to insert the crochet hook. Hold the yarn tail securely and pull up a loop. Leaving a sufficient length for tying a knot later. Now, chain 1 to secure the loop. In the same stitch, we will crochet a half double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch. Yarn over, and pull up a loop. You will have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull through all the loops on your hook. Next, we will crochet 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. Yarn over twice, then locate the corresponding stitch in the next round, which is between the 4th and 5th rounds. Insert your hook there. Yarn over again and pull up a loop. You will have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. This completes 1 treble crochet. Now repeat the same process to crochet another treble crochet in the same stitch. Next, we will crochet a half double crochet between the 5th and 6th rounds. It's located right here. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. After that, chain 1. Finally, crochet a slip stitch in the same stitch to finish. Once completed, you can fasten off by leaving a yarn tail for tying a knot. Gently tighten and adjust the ending part to make it neat. Then thread the yarn needle through the starting point of the ear, coming out from the back of the head. Do the same with the other yarn tail, bringing it to the same position as the previous one. Make sure they both emerge from the same hole. Double check if the ear looks appropriate. If everything looks good, tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails. Trim any excess and tuck them inside the body. That's it. The left ear is now completely finished. Let's continue crocheting the right ear. The sequence for the right ear is the reverse of the left ear. We will start between the 5th and 6th rounds. Just like the left ear, find the symmetrical position between the 5th and 6th rounds, similar to the left ear, and insert the hook there. Again, leave a yarn tail, then chain 1 to secure the loop. Next, crochet a half double crochet in the same stitch. Then crochet 2 treble crochets between the 4th and 5th rounds. After that, crochet a half double crochet between the third and fourth rounds. Chain 1 and crochet a slip stitch in the same stitch. Finally, you can fasten off. The treatment of the yarn tail is the same as the left ear, so I won't repeat the demonstration. Okay, time to crochet the nose part. I'm using a 5-ply cotton yarn and a 3mm crochet hook. First up, leave a little tail for tying knots and make a slip knot. Then chain 3. Next, we're going to find that second to last chain and insert our hook right there. In that stitch, we'll increase by crocheting 2 single crochets. Then in the next stitch, crochet 2 more single crochets. Once that's done, insert your hook back into that same stitch. Pull the yarn tail to the middle between the hook and your working yarn. Then crochet 2 more single crochets there. Finally, in that very last stitch, crochet 2 last single crochets. See? It's starting to look like a little piggy nose with 2 nostrils. Cute, right? Now leave a bit of a yarn tail and cut it off. We're going to connect the start and end parts together. Take your hook from the back side and go through that top right loop. Then pull the loop from the tail end to the back. And just like that, you've got yourself a complete little piggy nose. Next up is just finding the perfect spot to sew that cute nose right onto the face. You'll do it the same way we attach the ear tails. And ta-da! Our adorable little piggy friend is all finished. Isn't it just the cutest? If you ran into any troubles while crocheting, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know. I'm happy to troubleshoot any issues y'all might have had. All right, y'all, it's about that time to wrap things up. The patterns for these 3 little cuties will be posted on my Ko-fi, so make sure to follow me over there if you're interested. And if y'all want full video tutorials for them too, let me know loudly in the comments section. If we can hit over 1,000 likes on this video, for the next tutorial, I'll teach whichever animal got the most requests. So don't be shy, speak up for your favorite. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch y'all next time.